Hi, it's Stephen here from Sound of a Nation Wave, and this is day 27 of the November daily draws. So let's see what message we get today. And I'll be taking the first card from Dugan's, which is Tarot, followed by an oracle card from the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck. So let's choose our first card and get the reading underway. Okay, here we go. So, we have the Four of Pentacles, which is a very interesting card because you can take this card in more than one way in my book, and traditionally a lot of people see this. This is often seen in tarot reading circles as sometimes meaning greed, holding on tightly to things and not willing to let go of it, and being greedy and hoarding and keeping hold of something rather than sharing and letting it go. There can be that element to it, I believe. And we have to always guard against being a little bit too tight-fisted and grudging to share and to give. So there is that aspect we have to be careful of. But to me, this has always been about security, stability, and because of the force, the numerological association with force. And to me, what this is about is our own personal stability or sense of stability and security, materially. Physical security, financial security, material security, anything, to do with that. It could even be like job security as well, which is tied to financial security probably. And it's to do with being protective. He's like guarding the door. He's like a guard on the door. You can't come in. It's being careful. It's being cautious, sometimes overly cautious about our situation, about our circumstances. We don't want to lose what we have, particularly if what we have is very not so great, not so a huge amount to begin with. But the little we do have, we want to keep hold of, because losing that would give us a sense of vulnerability and insecurity. And of course, we don't want to lose everything, and we need to keep what we need to be able to have that stability and to keep ourselves afloat, as it were. So there is that element to it, and that can lead, that sense of insecurity and fear of losing that, and it can cause us to be extra tight, have an extra tight hold over what we have. And so in a sense, to me, that's not greediness or miserliness in a sense that some might refer to this card. And it is a negative aspect we have to be careful of. But to me, it's more of a reluctance to let go because of that. Because, it's more of a self-preservation, a self-protection. And that's nothing, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a natural response. We're fearful. We don't have much. And if we want to hold on to what we have, because that gives us some sense of what limited stability and security we may feel, and so we hold on to it. But sometimes we can overdo that. And sometimes, in order to improve our circumstances, improve our position, we need to not just hold on to the status quo. We need to take a couple of risks, calculated risks, not reckless, so that we lose everything. But maybe we need to be willing to take some of that, what we have, in order to help perhaps expand what we have. But it's once. But sometimes that first step is a little bit apprehensive to us. So yes, it's being wise and discerning about how we use what we have, our resources, our money, how we use our time and our physical body. We don't want to overburden our physical body. We don't want to put too much pressure on it when we become exhausted, physically exhausted, and potentially physically ill from overdoing things. So there is an element of perhaps don't overdo things here. Be careful, be aware of your limitations, but don't necessarily be boxed in by them. Try and think of ways where you can expand your stability and security. And sometimes that means being willing to let go of something of it to perhaps release into the universe, that the universe can bring back to you, multiply, to expand. You investing in it, and you have to invest it wisely. Your time, your physical effort, your resources, whatever. But if you do it wisely, then it can benefit you in this area. So yes, by all means, do what you need to do to try and keep that sense of security and stability in your life, what you need, but not to the expense of your growth. You've got to be willing to release a little bit of it in order to have the chance to expand your horizons. And I think that's what the message of this card is today. Okay, so let's see what oracle card we get to go with that. Arrow. Surround yourself with protective energy. So it is this element of protection. So maybe we do need to be a bit protective around ourselves. Have some protective energy. Maybe a little bit more caution than usual. Being a little bit extra, think things through an extra time before you come to a decision. Double check things, perhaps not to an OCD level, but to just to be on the safe side, perhaps. So it's that protective energy, that sense of security, that perhaps is the issue here. And we need to come from a place of security before we can feel safe enough to take the smallest of risks to try and change our circumstances. But we need to start from a position where we feel safe enough to do so. So perhaps surround ourselves with whatever protective energy that we can. And that is today's message. I'll be back tomorrow with day 28. Until then, thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, bye-bye.